Well, not to dwell on what Democrats got wrong, but you guys are the experts. There's been some criticism that you mentioned that Democrats weren't necessarily listening enough to voters, and you talked about the issue of age. But what about on policy? Because obviously we saw throughout border immigration were top issues for voters nearly across the board. Did Democrats not listen enough on the policies that Americans prioritized?
Yes, I think definitely. I mean, I think clearly voters were most concerned about inflation. They were angry about inflation, and we saw that lead to incumbent parties losing all over the world. And then there was concern about the border. And I think for a long time, Democrats thought the border was a manufactured issue. This was a Fox News thing. We should try to elevate other issues instead. And that was not a winning proposition.
And was there too heavy of a focus on this idea of democracy and standing up for democracy?
There was, but I also think, this was a 4-year problem in the making, which is people were struggling with higher costs and lower living standards, which, by the way, didn't happen just after the pandemic. It has been like a couple decade-long problem in this country. There's a growing wealth inequality in this country. And I think that the White House...
There are a lot of oligarchs in this country now.
A lot of oligarchs. And the White House's response to this was like, no, look at these statistics, look at the economy, it's great. And you can't argue people out of their feelings.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that's what Democrats need to learn.
Because I think one thing I witnessed is that Democrats continually told people what they should care about rather than listen and hear what they actually did care about. But President Trump was one of the loudest supporters of a ban on TikTok, but after doing a complete 180, he's now getting credit for saving it. So you say this speaks to a messaging problem that the Democratic Party has. What do you mean, and how can they fix it?
This is a perfect example of a kind of brokenness in politics that is owned by Democrats and actually a lot of Republicans before Trump came along. They come out with a bill basically in the dead of night to ban this very popular thing, right? They don't explain it. They say, trust us. They know there's national security concerns. They do it despite never addressing people's questions about it. And people say they don't like it, and they say tough. And then Trump gets to come along, right? This company knows now that if you bend the knee to Trump and praise him, he loves it. Yeah. So they put up a little statement saying, if only Trump could save us. And then the next day, Trump saved them. Yeah. And Trump gets to take credit for something, which is actually something he supported doing, all because Democrats and Republicans got together and decided they knew best without having anybody explain why to millions of young people who like this app that is rotting all of our brains, myself included. And then the other thing, and just sorry, but the other thing is...
Well, you're China behind it?
Well,
you have to communicate.
But they're not saying ban it, are they? They're saying sell it to an American. And so what does that mean? They're saying this app is horrible for our children, and we'd like the Americans to be the one destroying their brains. That doesn't make any sense.
That's right. No, Donald Trump is not saying this app is horrible for our children. Donald Trump is saying, so what if China spies on our youth? Yeah. It's our youth. Who cares?
Kids. What information do they have?
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Donald Trump doesn't have a core belief, so that was very advantageous to him now.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, you live in Los Angeles, which has been ravaged by these wildfires. And Governor Newsom appeared on your podcast during the fires to respond to this blame game that we're seeing over what caused the fires and misinformation, really, about emergency response failures. People criticize the timing, though, of his appearance on your podcast. Was that fair, first of all? And is the blame game, some are saying it's Governor Newsom, some are saying it's LA Mayor Karen Bass, is that helpful? Is it useful?
Yeah, as for the timing, I mean, I went to him and he was in Malibu at the command center and he took 20 minutes to sit down with me and had been doing other interviews too. So I think
we're an LA-based media.
We're an LA-based, yeah, so which it made sense. I do think the larger critique, there's a lot of people in LA who they're really upset and they're angry and they're scared. And we were all there and it was hard to get good information. And I don't necessarily hold Newsom responsible, but Mayor Bass being gone and not being there, I think it's beyond bad optics. I think in this information environment.
Wasn't she in Ghana?
She was in Ghana.
On a pre-planned trip?
She
and
was.
Came back immediately?
She did, but she left when she knew that the warnings were there. And like Newsom had set up, he was telling me they had set up National Guard and fire. They had set that up because they thought that it could be bad. Okay. And she still went, right? I just think that whatever, it's a mistake. But during a crisis, we need leaders who are going to not just communicate, but over-communicate. And I think that's a lesson not just in disasters, but for like Democrats and politicians writ large. Donald Trump he's not fun to hear, but he talks constantly. He's always
Constantly.
communicating.
Yeah.
And I do think that like Democratic leaders need to realize in this information environment, you need to just be everywhere, do everything all at once.
We don't have much time. I just wanted to say there hasn't been enough of an emphasis on climate change when they talk about the fires.
Climate change makes the temperature more erratic, so we had a long several years of more rain, which led to more brush growth and undergrowth, and then that dried out, and we had a drought, and then there was 100-mile-per-hour winds, and it let a spark, and it just spread.
But how much more? How many more fires do we have to have
But you
before
need-
they step up and
But
address
Democrats
this
need to
problem?
offer sane policies to address climate change. When you do things like the Green New Deal that aren't serious, will never pass, and are going to kill entire industries, you're never going to bring the entire country around.
Yeah, but he's
And it
going
never
to
did
take us
pass.
backward.
And it never passed. We're still not here.
Trump is taking us backward on climate change.
Agreed, but you can win young people on it.
I think the
right.
hardest thing in
We have to
politics,
go.
though, is to ask people to sacrifice today to do something important
tomorrow.
tomorrow, right? And that's fundamentally what we're
Well,
trying
they
to
have
do.
to be educated too. So thank you all for doing that. Thank you all very much for being here. New episodes of Pod Save America are released Tuesdays and Fridays.